My name is Garrett Jarrett. You are watching the Hub Online Network. We have a sponsor for today. Quite happy to be passing along this information to you guys. So, the Taking Care of Business program brings funding and one-on-one support to eligible businesses in northern BC. Members will have access to free online webinars, professional business advice, flexible business financing, and an opportunity to apply for a reimbursement of up to $7,500 for customized training that's planned by you. Learn more at takingcareofbusiness.biz. And thank you, Community Futures, for reaching out to us and letting us do this for you. Okay, so we got a super busy show for you guys today, so let's get to it. As you can probably tell, Christmas is, the season is upon us, although we have no snow currently in Ashcroft, and fingers crossed we might hopefully not get any for a while. Let me know what you guys think about snow, actually. That'd be awesome to know. So all of my stuff is laid out before. Apparently, my desk is going to get more decorated as the month goes on, so stay tuned for that. And in Ashcroft, the council is convening for a special meeting on December 3rd at 9:30 in the morning to give the first 3 readings of Amendment Bylaw 840. This amendment bylaw will approve the regular meeting time of council meetings to be at 6 p.m. moving forward for all meetings. So you can take a look at that on the Village of Ashcroft's Facebook page. We will not be covering this because it's essentially just going to be the council members and the mayor going in, raising their hand a couple of times. This is pretty much a done deal. So it'll take a few minutes, so we're not going to worry about it too much. And if you were at home and you would like to give me a call, and let me know what is on your mind, give me a shout, 250-457-0538. I also had the down with Esther. Today we have all-around interesting person from town, Esther Lang. Esther, why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Esther Lang. I've lived in Ashcroft for a great number of years. I won't tell you how many. I have taught school in this school district for 35 years, actually right in this building. And since I've retired, I've become involved in a lot of community activities, and that has given me the ability to learn more about people within the community, some of their needs, some of their wants, and just generally to gain more information about how we can help people in the community. Just some statistics, because I'm kind of a statistic person. From March the 26th to November the 30th, which is 8 months approximately, there were a total of 19 people who requested help from the Community Resources Society. Excuse me, there have been other requests for other things, but I'm only concerned right now about the Community Resources Society. There were 7 people who used our service once. There were 6 whose circumstances have improved, or else we found another venue for them. There are still 4 regulars, and there are 2 new people. So we haven't dealt with that many people, but we hope that we've provided a service. A lot of the people have wanted to pay for the service, which was not why we started it. And so when people started insisting that they really would like to pay for it, I indicated to them that we would turn the money into the Christmas Hamper Fund, and they would get a receipt for it for income tax purposes because we are a registered charity. And so there has been a little extra financial support added to our Christmas Hampers Fund as well. Calculated the total too of the number of people that we would be serving through these hampers, and it's 760 people.
That is amazing.
It is. We have all our staff together already. We have certain groups that help us with deliveries and have done for years. And we're using people this year that we have used in the past as our volunteers for putting together the hampers, because we don't want to be having a great deal of talking back and forth, and these people just know what needs doing.
Right.
And in a time of COVID, we've had, well, I guess we haven't had to, but we have chosen to make it as safe as possible for both our clients and our volunteers.
Okay.
So right now, we thank anybody who has already called me to volunteer, and any who might be thinking about that in the future, that will accept donations with people to add a few dollars onto their bill at the till. Early Bird, NGN, IDA, and Safety Mart are those. The liquor store, plus the donations of loose change that people might wish to give. And being at home gives me lots of time to plan Christmas hampers. So I know that there are people out there who are suffering from, I'll call it being shut in. And I would encourage those people to think about them.
Right.
So.
Well, that was a fantastic interview. Thank you very much for coming in. I really appreciate that. And to everybody else, you can... So, thank you, Esther, for coming in. And the Village of Ashcroft would like to say thank you to everyone who came out and showed support for Plaid Friday. And a huge thank you to all the businesses that participated in such a great success. Let's keep it going for BDC Small Business Week and continue to support all of the entrepreneurs and their amazing resilience during the pandemic. The Village of Ashcroft, or other things going on, is last week we hosted, this is us. Last week we hosted a small virtual Village of Ashcroft meeting. This was the community forum where the village lays out their plan for the short term. This includes projects and proposals. This was presented by CAO Daniela Dick, and there were several really good questions that came in from people on the phone and people commenting and stuff. So the topics discussed ranged from emergency response plan to the master trail plan. And if you want to go check that out, it's currently not on our YouTube channel yet, but it is on our Facebook page from last Thursday, so we'll give that a watch. And to keep things going on in Ashcroft, I also sat down with Jim Mertel. He was in the studio to talk to us about Sage Sound Singers, so here is a little taste of that interview. Well, with your time shared with Michelle, what is one...
For me, it was when we did Fiddler on the Roof. That was a dream of mine to play anything with Tevye, and we tried to get the rights to the play, and we couldn't do it because they had a big tour in North America, and they weren't going to let anyone do it. But so what we did instead, this is again demonstrates Michelle's drive. She says, we're going to do something. So we did a tribute to Fiddler on the Roof, and my partner Mark, he did the narration. Michelle wrote a synopsis of the play, and we sang songs with it, and I did the Tevye part, and it was really good for me, because for me it was like after the year before I had had so much trouble with the Blythe Spirit play, and that was a disaster for me for many medical reasons and emotional reasons. I won't even go into them, but for me, Fiddler on the Roof proved I could do it again, and that to me was the most special thing she did for me.
What's the difference between having the rights to a play and doing a tribute? Like legally, what's the difference between the two?
The difference is that you buy the music.
Okay.
And you have the rights to the music, and you're not doing the play.
Okay, gotcha.
We didn't use we didn't use very very little dialogue, actual dialogue. So it was a synopsis, and you can summarize without licensing. But we had bought the music to it, so that was still available, and we did have a few props, but that was. But it was mostly a tribute concert, and you can do.
I actually in the video of this interview, I'll put in a little video I did with you guys in regards to that. Even though you can't buy tickets for it anymore, which I think is something that we talked about in that video. So, but I will add that into this just as extra
Oh, okay.
pop. Okay, so you mentioned that your partner did the narration. Has he done a lot of work with?
Just in the spring of after My Fair Lady, it's kind of a funny story with that because he wanted to be in My Fair Lady, but Michelle being sought after, they're the people with low voices.
Okay.
He can do the really low, and she found that. She says, how he found it, he was whistling for. There was a song in My Fair Lady that we needed a whistler, and he has a very nice whistle. And when he was singing the song, he got in, and he's been with us ever since.
No. So a little bit of breaking news for everybody. A cougar was spotted in the gully by the pump station below the funeral home. So if that affects you and you're watching right now, this is a 20-minute old message. Thank you, Deb Toohey, for sharing that. And we are going to move on. So in Cache Creek, there was a head-on collision over the weekend by Perry Ranch. How does becoming a club member work? What are the qualifications you have to have? What do you got to do? And what perks do you have access
to? Volunteers, to Clubhouse friends. We all pay $10 a month.
Okay.
And then she's got a little section that's now called the Little Store. And if Clubhouse person feels they can't buy a whole package of toilet paper or a whole package of paper towel or a whole big bag of sugar or a whole big can of coffee, those kind of things, small amount of sugar, and then pay, it's very little, $0.25 or $1, whatever the price is on it. But yeah, so that sometimes feminine napkins and toiletries that older people may need, or people might need. Soaps, razors for men, usually. Yeah.
Awesome.
Like that.
And you can see all of these interviews on our YouTube channel. They will be posted, one today, one tomorrow, and one on Thursday. So check all those out. Where are we now? In Clinton. So one of the things that we've been wanting to do for a long time is we want to expand just a little bit. So we're going to start providing some news from Clinton and Spence's Bridge, as much as there is at any given time. So Clinton is saying, hello everyone. The Cram a Cruiser toy and food drive has been postponed tentatively to Saturday, December 12th, following the recent COVID-19 restrictions. And the Library Home Services in Clinton, so they say that Library Home Services delivers materials to patrons who are unable to come to the library owing to mobility or to health issues via carefully screened volunteers. Services provided to persons in their own homes, in seniors' residences, or care facilities, while home service patrons have access to all library materials. That is actually a job position, not a job necessarily, but a volunteer position. So if you want to learn more and see if you are willing to help, you can go to the Clinton Facebook page and throw your name into the hat. In Spence's Bridge. So to show that COVID is not deprived. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the interior. So this is a story that comes out of CFJC with the coordinator of a protest at a Salmon Arm Park Saturday to warn him about his legal jeopardy as an organizer amid the coronavirus pandemic. However, police said that they ended up ticketing him $2,000 under the COVID Measures Act, plus a victim surcharge levy of $300. There was another rally held outside Salmon Arms City Hall on Saturday, but no tickets were issued at the demonstration, according to police. Quote, health order that is in place to combat the spread of COVID-19. So that is from Salmon Arm. Now let's get into our COVID numbers, my least favorite part of the show. So we have the numbers from the weekend. I don't have today's numbers necessarily, or yet. I don't have them yet. So over the weekend, we had 2,354 new cases, and this isn't quite but came out positive. So they decreased the number of cases. But over the weekend, they added 277 historical cases from Fraser Health. It's had 46 new deaths. So that is fairly significant. Our individual action, so now we have a few things from the gatherings and non-essential travel when we each do our part to make a big impact. Most people in BC are doing the right thing despite how difficult this pandemic is. Our part to keep our loved ones and our communities safe. And on a different note, but worthy, on a way different topic here, the Japanese government and the International Olympic Committee has committed to holding the Tokyo Summer Olympics and Paralympic Games next summer in 2021, with a review of coronavirus countermeasures to be released at the end of this year. The announcement comes after growing uncertainty whether the Tokyo Olympics would be canceled altogether, leaving sponsors, tourism, and hospitality businesses in limbo. The postponed games face the challenges of balancing athlete and public safety, as well as keeping costs down to offset the losses incurred by postponing the games for a year. For the Olympics, I would be there. And now from, where are we here? Jackie Taggart. Are held differently. I am amazed and impressed at what can be done virtually and want to thank legislative staff for arranging the swearing in, whether virtually or in person. I am honored to be a member of the Legislative Assembly representing beautiful Fraser Nicola. She also goes on to say that the Steelhead Society works alongside tributary protection, flow rate regulation, population assessment, and education. And if you'd like to know more about Steelhead, we have Brad Viss. Now this is an interesting one. So Brad says, I would like to thank my colleague Tim S. Uppel for speaking on behalf of the Conservative Party of Canada, on this important issue today. So I have a minute-long video for you guys to check out, and then I will continue on.
Gurpurb diyan lakh lakh badaiyan. Mr. Speaker, today is Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Gurpurb, meaning is the birthday of the founder of the Sikh faith. And farmers from Punjab, Haryana, and other parts of India have made their way to Delhi. Shockingly, along the way, these peaceful protesters were met with blockades, water cannons, batons, and tear gas. But they persisted peacefully. In fact, they even provided food and water to the same security forces that were attacking them. The right to peaceful protest is fundamental in any democracy. These farmers deserve to be heard and respected. So as the world watches, Mr. Speaker, we urge the Indian government to hear out the farmers. Because the fact is, Mr. Speaker, no farmers, no food.
Hear, hear, hear. With 25, as promised, please find my petition regarding the ongoing situation in the Punjab on my website, which is bradviss.ca. I'll be able to present the petition and speak on this in the House of Commons. To participate, please print off the petition, sign, and mail postage free to my office in Ottawa. For more information, please call my office at 604-814-5710. And a little bit more information about what this petition is Canadians uphold, so the sort of bullet points about it is, Canadians uphold basic human rights such as the freedom of expression and the freedom of peaceful assembly as the hallmarks of just democratic and pluralistic society. Farmers from the Indian state of Punjab and Haryana have, for several months, been peacefully protesting a domestic legislative change that affects their agricultural enterprises. Recent footage and images from India show violent aggressions carried out on protesting farmers and appear to be perpetrated by state police and security forces. Now, having said that, we at the Hub Online Network do